Anyway, we want to talk about this net neutrality business. We have dealt with this on this program before. This is the FCC has just asserted its authority to regulate the internet. And this net neutrality is a bogus name, just like most legislative titles. Well, most titles of legislation are bogus. Net neutrality does no such thing. It does not promote neutrality and lack of bias or any such thing. Now, we noted on this program back in September of 2009, net neutrality is a solution in search of a problem. It's just a bunch of liberals wanting to get their hands on something that is massive, that can harm them. They have to control as much as they can the free flow of information. They have to be in charge of it. They have to be able to censor it. And that's what this is all about. There is no problem on the internet. None. In fact, in most of life, there wasn't a problem until the liberals went in search of one so that they could control people's behavior and try to legislate the outcomes of individuals in life. The only problem here appears to be too much freedom, at least in the minds of the government. Too much freedom on the internet in the minds of Obama and his FCC people. All you really have to know about net neutrality is that its biggest promoters are George Soros and Google and MoveOn.org, which is heavily funded by Mr. Soros and Google. It's also promoted by a number of other radical left Soros fronts, such as the Free Press and the Center for American Progress, a couple of additional groups improperly named. The Center for American Progress is about the opposite. They're not about American progress. And Free Press is not about the free press. So what we're doing here is neutering the internet. It's another private industry. It's another gleaming aspect of free speech, free market. Private industry Obama has decided to take over as a Christmas present to himself and the Democrat National Committee and to Mr. Soros. He's even beaten Hugo Chavez to the punch. Chavez is just talking about taking over the internet in Venezuela. Obama has got it done. It's all about, they want you to believe it's about search engines, making sure that every possible result gets exposure. And they want to try to tell you it's about money, and it's not. It's never, well, it is about money, but it's not in the way that you would think when that is offered as a reason. It's about control. Here is a gleaming artifact of unabridged free market everything. Speech, commerce, you name it. And they want to control it. They want to control who gets to say what on it. They want to control who gets found on it. They want to control pretty much everything about it. Monday afternoon, 2 Democrat commissioners on the FCC, Michael Copps and Mignon Clyburn, the daughter of James Clyburn, signaled that the order was not as strong as they would have liked, but they wouldn't oppose it. Their votes, along with Mr. Janikowski's, would be enough to approve the order or the takeover. Copps, one of the Democrat commissioners, said that he wanted to ensure that the internet doesn't travel down the same road of special interest consolidation and gatekeeper control that other media and communications industries like radio, TV, film, and cable have traveled. They are worried to death that the internet is going to become the next conservative talk radio and Fox News. And that's what they're not going to permit. That's what so-called net neutrality is all about, to make sure that the voices of minorities and the displaced and the disfinanced and the disabused and the whoever's are equally heard. What a historic tragedy it would be, Copps said, to let that fate, meaning what's happened to talk radio and Fox News, befall. That's from an earlier AP story.
Yeah, so we would really hate to see. They don't, by the way, have any regulatory authority over cable TV, and they haven't asserted it. And that's what galls them about Fox. So this is, and they're trying to control Fox on the basis that Fox does news. But see, news is specifically, journalism specifically mentioned in the First Amendment. It gives them a problem. But we wouldn't want Internet to suffer the fate of TV, which has gone from 3 networks to literally thousands of choices. We wouldn't want that, would we? You go back, it wasn't that long ago, 1988. It was the 3 networks and CNN. And I think ESPN was just getting started breaking out. ESPN first started on radio. But we wouldn't want that kind of diversity, would we? In 1988, there were 125 radio stations in this country doing talk. Today, what is it, Snurley? It's over 2,000. Over 2,000. You've got every format under the sun. If you want to listen to a talk show on baking carrot cakes for the holidays, you can find it. It's there. Chinese opera, you name it. We certainly wouldn't want to see the Internet end up like radio, where there's even room for views that diverge from the liberal establishment. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have views that diverge from liberalism. They see the Internet as something, if they don't grab control of it, they're never going to get control of it. And that is what they want. Let's go to the audio sound bites, because this is part and parcel of the same thing. Today on Good Morning America, we're up number 6 for the broadcast engineer. The Justice Department correspondent at ABC, Pierre Thomas, interviewed the Attorney General Eric Holder. Question, what keeps you up at night? What keeps you up at night? What do you worry about most?
The concern that perhaps that we might have missed something. The threat is real. The threat is different. The threat is constant. The threat has changed from foreigners coming here to people in the United States, American citizens, raised here, born here. You didn't worry about this even 2 years ago. The ability to go into your basement, turn on your computer, find a site that has this kind of hatred spewed. They have an ability to take somebody who is perhaps just interested, perhaps just on the edge, and take them over to the other side.
Oh, yeah. That's what keeps him, is threats, not from foreigners, but people in the U.S., American citizens raised here, born here. Those are the real terror threats. Really, when was the last one of those? When was the last one of them? And so you see, on the computer, because you can take these people fragilely balanced on the edge and get some really smart molder of opinion, some terrorist, some crazy site, and the person in the basement on the computer can become a terrorist. That's what we got to work. Sounds just like Hugo Chavez. This is the language of authoritarian statists. This is the language of dictators. And this next is encouraging. Pierre Thomas said, are you confident the United States will continue to thwart terror attacks?
The American people have to be prepared for, potentially bad news.
Wait a second. I thought you were working 24/7, 364 to keep us safe. Well, that's what Big Sis said. She was on World News tonight, and Diane Sawyer interviewed her. She said, what do you say right now about the degree of anxiety that's just realistic right now as we head into the holidays?
What I say to the American people is that we are, and thousands of people are working 24/7, 364 days a year to keep the American people safe.
What is the one day they are not working to keep people safe? It can't be Ramadan, because that's like a month. What is the one? Well, she said 24/7, 364 days a year. Well, no, because in leap years it'd be 2 days. It'd be 366. Election day. Maybe it's election day. Martin Luther King Day. What day are they not working to keep us safe? Well, obviously here what would you call this? A gaffe. And so, on Morning Joe today,
Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington. And we're talking about this gaffe, 364 days a year to protect the people. Scarborough said, help us out here. You know, I come from the No Labels group, and I don't know what 364 means anymore because we don't believe in labels, and numbers are labels. So what is she talking about here? If Janet Napolitano says we're not going to have to worry about terrorism because we got people working 364 days of the year. By the way, Joe, you're a No Labels guy. What are you talking about terrorists for? Isn't that a label? Hell, I'm distracting myself. Question: if Janet says that we're not going to have to worry about terrorism because we got people working 364 days out of the year, are they giving us a heads up to let us know the day they're all taking off so I can keep my family home?
One person takes off a different day. You see, that's the deal. They're covering for each other. I don't know. Maybe it's Christmas Day.
Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington, trying to cover for Big Sis. Well, they got it covered. It's just that she's taking one day off, but somebody's covering for her.